Bill, you've got just an amazing collector's garden here. What are some of the features that you have here in your garden?
Well, I not only collect plants, I also collect rocks. And this is an up-and-coming garden feature that's being practiced all over the country. It's called crevice garden.
Mm-hmm.
But I also use rocks as walkways and retaining walls, and then also as sculptural elements like these basaltic columns, crystals that and it's
Beautiful.
framed by this nice arch of native bald cypress.
Oh, the softness of that just makes it. But, you know, texture-wise, you've put together some wonderful combinations here and colors. So when you get a new plant, how do you figure out where to put it?
Well, thank you. It's a challenge. I walk it a lot. I walk the garden a lot, finding these spots. Sometimes I flag them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm a nut on yellow plants, so and they stand out, particularly evergreen, summer and winter. They liven up the garden.
Right, right.
So I try to triangulate those.
Yes. You know, there's so many features to a garden, you know, texture, color, everything, but also views and water. And you've got it in spades here, my friend, with this amazing view of the James. That's just gorgeous.
The site. Linda found this place, and it is amazing.
Mm.
That's the James River with Norfolk Naval Base on the other side.
It just adds so much. It opens the garden. Any other water features?
Well, our main water feature is at the front door.
Okay.
You want me to show you that?
I'd love that. Bill, these fish are absolutely beautiful. How often do you feed them?
I feed them twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening.
Mm-hmm. And the water circulation helps a lot with the fish, giving them oxygen?
Yes, definitely. And also as a deterrent for the birds. So yes.
While we're talking, is it possible to turn off the water?
Oh yeah, sure. All right, we're in good shape now.
Absolutely love this fountain. This just is beautiful. And to be honest, this whole area, you know, I was in Japan a number of years ago and I feel like I'm back in Japan.
Yeah.
So was that your inspiration?
Definitely. We were there in 1976 on a Virginia Tech alumni tour. It was our first time. And the first week was in Tokyo. The second week was in Kyoto, and we did nothing but go to gardens. And
sounds like
we
my
saw
trip.
this technique with one had millstones, little millstones. Another one had natural stones. And of course, I love everything Japanese. So I had in the back of my mind that someday I was going to design some.
So how deep is the pond?
It's 2 feet deep. Legally in the state of Virginia, if it's over 2 feet of depth,
Yes.
you have to have a fence. They like a deeper spot in the pond, as much as like 5 feet. This is all 2 feet.
How many gallons is it?
It's 30,000 gallons. They say that you're allowed to have one larger fish per 1,000 gallons. So the 30,000, I can have 30 fish, and that's what I have.
And you have beautiful fish. Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah,
Are
some
they-
domestic, some
from Japan?
imported from Japan.
What a wonderful combination. Well, tell me about the care of the pond, though, because so many people would love to have a water feature in their landscape, and they really don't know where to get started or even what the care is for it. So tell me, how do you care for this beautiful space?
The best thing is to find a source, a local source. We have a guru over in Newport News, and he has answered all the questions. That's his life's work. So if I have a problem, and they're the ones, they sent somebody over here, actually, that got me on the right track. Salinity is probably the number one thing, and I have this meter that you press and stick when it's zeros, you stick it in, and it's reading 0.12. That's a point when it went up to 0.13.
Right.
That's exactly where you want it to be. And the reason for that is, through research, they found that the 0.12 will not kill plants, but it keeps the slime coat on the fish, which is what
Interesting.
keeps them healthy.
Yes, it's very important. Well, you have a water filtration system, but I don't see it.
Originally, this back here was the filter, and it wasn't enough, not nearly enough, so the water stayed cloudy all the time with algae. So at some point, about 7 or 8 years ago, I decided we had to build a better filter, and we did that on the side of the house, which is lower than this, which was a little bit of a challenge because most ponds are on level ground, and they put the filter right behind the pond with a waterfall,
Right, exactly.
and that recirculates
Circulation.
with one pump.
Right.
Because this is higher than the filter, The water has to be pumped down to the filter, through the filter, and then pumped back
Pumped
up.
back up.
So 2 pumps.
Since it is a biological filtration system, what is the maintenance on it?
The filter on the side gets, there's a trap on the pump that gets cleaned every day. And if I don't, it just builds up on there. It would probably burn the pump up.
Interesting.
The surface of it has to be cleaned off once a month. Say, go in and clean that off.
Okay.
And the reason I didn't do it, because you all were coming, is that it really muddies the water up.
Right.
And then there's a manifold system underneath the filter
Right.
with screw caps for cleanouts.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this coil of piping I take down there, and I just unscrew it and quick hold it over, and that takes the gunk algae out, dumps it into one of the beds.
So it sort of helps clear out whatever's been collected.
Right. That's about every 2 weeks I do that.
Okay. And then here, what do you do? Do you check the salinity every day, or?
No, not really. I check it depending on the rain. If we get a lot of rain, I check it, and it usually needs more salt.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same salt you use in swimming pools. It doesn't
Interesting.
bother the fish. It's nothing. It's just salt.
What do you do to try to mitigate the temperature of the water? Do you do anything like in
Nothing.
a hot summer day?
No.
Or is all
nothing.
the aeration and bubbling helping
Yeah,
to stabilize
It might
that?
get pretty hot, but I don't do anything.
Oh,
Come
interesting.
out here with ice, maybe. I'm not going to do that.
Tell me though, I'm assuming you must have another door to your house, because if you come home, we'll say
Yes.
very tired, I don't know if you want to maneuver these
Yes.
stepping stones.
We're not going to be coming this way if we're drinking. So. But nobody has ever fallen in this pond. My sister brought her dog up here from North Carolina, and I brought the dog right out here, and I turned around about to where you're standing, and I turned around. I said, "See, Jeannie?" About that time, the dog walked right off into the water. They don't have any depth perception,
Oh,
and
It
I should have kept
surprised
walking.
him. Yeah, it surprised him. So despite having a dog in the water, for people considering putting a pond at their landscape, what would be your advice?
Do the typical one where it's all on one level
Uh-huh.
and freeform shape. This is rectilinear just because of the way it was lined up with the house. I didn't have enough room to do this really informal curvilinear thing out in the yard. So it just made more sense to make this rectilinear.
Mm-hmm.
And then these are on cinder blocks, so it's all
Nice and
solid.
level and style. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Would you encourage people to do more of a larger bog, sort of garden like
if somebody tells you this, you need this for the filter, double it.
double?
Really, because there's never too much filtration.
Well, Bill, this to me is the ultimate example of a water pond, and
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I love the fact that it's the entry to your home.
Yeah, we do too.
And I just love the fact that you've got these beautiful fish, and you've actually, over the years, figured out the best way to manage this. And I thank you so much for sharing this with us.
You're welcome.